Hey, Jesse.
Hello, Lindsay.
What you drinking tonight? Today. This is still afternoon.
I hooked up this. It's a cat. It's still. I'm still on Captain Morgan because I don't drink a whole lot of in sessions like that. But I bought like a handle of Captain Morgan a couple weeks ago, and I'm still drinking on the spiced rum. And last night you brought me like a mango White Claw, and I didn't drink it. I put it in the fridge and put it with it. So I'm mixing my alcohol with my alcohol.
Captain and Claw.
Yeah, Captain and Claw. And I put some energy drink in it, some of this Mio energy drink, and it's like tropical fusion.
I got that just for you.
Because I'm old, and I put energy drink in my alcohol to keep me from being bleh. I don't want to be too much bleh. But even though we like bleh, bleh. Yeah, that. But bleh. No, so I did like that. And I just wanted to know, the only thing I want to know before we start getting going here is, what are you drinking, Lindsay?
Some stupid ass concoction I created.
Tell me about this. Mine was, honestly, nobody's done that before.
I went out this week and tried to find that blackberry margarita mix that I had found before that I said was too sweet, but I cut it.
You found it at the mall, right?
I found it at Bell's Outlet.
Oh, I thought it was
they
like
didn't
TJ
have
Maxx
any.
Yeah.
Walmart didn't have any. Nobody had it. I didn't go to the liquor store. They might have had some, but anyways. So I tried to recreate it by using blackberry lemonade seltzer water and some Sprite Zero and tequila and some lime.
Does that blackberry have Bambalam in it?
Lamb.
Blackberry. Bam.
Blackberry, everything is good to me. But this was kind of bland, so I added blackberry White Claw.
That's good. So blackberry and blackberry.
I got alcohol with my alcohol too.
You did me. Rattle. We love our rattle cups. We are rattle cup weekend warriors.
Yes. So what about that fight last night? Ugh.
Yeah.
What a waste of time and buffering.
Yeah. So
Netflix,
we
Netflix
always
was
put
not
this
ready
out on Friday, so I'm always like, Happy Friday, right? So I want to always say that because we put it out on Fridays, but yeah, we record.
You never know when we're
time.
recording.
No, we're gonna do this 2:00 in the morning in the closet. We're gonna be like closet recorders. We're just gonna hide and do our thing. We're gonna be like whispering, "Hey, this episode is recorded in your closet, in yours, not ours." I don't even know if that picked up on there. Anyhow, I am enjoying my drink, and I'm enjoying the Salem Witch trials.
And that's what we're drinking about today.
Yes, that is definitely what
Part
we're drinking
2.
about. I'm so excited, and I am ready. Y'all, happy Friday. Here we go. So we get to talk more about some witches.
It's the season of the witch.
I'm loving it. She just really dumped. This last part was just, it was full of it. It was full of it. And I liked it. It was really cool. And after we're done with this, we're going to wrap everything up and we're going to watch the Crucible.
Yeah.
Which I think we're probably just going to rent that on Prime, right? But we seen it on Hoopla.
Yeah.
And we talked about
they want you to have a library card?
I don't know how that works.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah. I was searching it and I was like, Hoopla. Holy shit. We just talked about that on Wednesday. That Wednesday recap. We just talked about that. And it was like, Hoopla. And we get all giddy about Hoopla. We should have went back. We should have kept on. We need to go kayaking again.
Yeah, I got a friend at work that wants us to kayak with them, but we'll plan that in the future.
Well, you got to know how they are if they're drinking cool people. Yeah, you got to be drinking cool people, right? So, how you guys doing? I am excited. And we're still here. We're still hanging in here.
I gotta correct a little mistake that last week I noticed. You asked me if all these people, the 200 people that ended up being accused, or over 200, were all from one town, and I said yes, but that is not true. So it was also surrounding towns.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, holy, is this like the small
But everybody
commonwealth
was tried and convicted in Salem.
so they drug them from the areas surrounding. I was like, 200 people in one little town. Like, how many people lived in Salem in 1692?
I don't know. I did not Google that.
Or should I say 1962?
It was 1692.
I'm planting the seed, guys. I left them in the last part. She said it like 3 times. I loved it. The curse of 1962. Maybe that's a witch thing, huh? Ooh, it's a witch thing. Yeah.
Witchy.
Wonder what happened in 1962 that could tie into being some witchy shit. Yeah.
We're also, if you guys don't watch Outlander, it's coming up.
Next
New
week,
season,
right?
Yes.
Or
the 22nd.
Well, if we put this out this Friday, it's coming out very soon.
It'll be in 2 days. Yeah.
We're not mathing. Are we mathing? I don't know.
A little bit.
Dang.
But so we're rewatching some Outlander to get us hyped up for the new season. Super excited. It's been a while.
Love Outlander. You know, it's like all the imagination wrapped into one big romance.
It's got everything, like I said last week.
And it's got the dirt. It's got the battles, too, to keep the dudes in.
Battles.
Dudes, listen. Dudes.
Bloody battles.
Dudes, listen. Grab your old lady or somebody that you want to spend a lot of time with, cuddled up with, and watch.
Grab your significant other.
Yeah, watch some Outlander. Yeah, you're going to love it. And then you're going to love each other. And then you're going to watch more and keep loving. It's all one big love fest.
It is.
I've been waiting to see Bob Marley in there.
Is this love? Is this love?
Yes. But, yeah, I'm going to let her fly. I'm going to let her fly. You can just fly like a bird.
Okay, so let's do a little recap real quick. So in 1692, oh my God, I did it. Yay. I didn't say 1962. Yay. So in 1692, everything was horrible and life consisted of hard work and lots of prayer. Jesus and labor. Okay. So there was war, smallpox, ergot poisoning, obsession with the devil, witchcraft, and hysteria. There were young girls claiming to be bewitched and accused several people who would accuse other people, and so on and so forth. So the afflicted were Betty Paris, Abigail Williams, Ann Putnam Jr., Elizabeth Booth, Elizabeth Hubbard, Mercy Lewis, Susanna Sheldon, Mary Walcott, and Mary Warren. So Sarah, Elizabeth, Sarah, Mary.
Sarah, and Sarah.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth and Betty Davis.
So all of them were ranging from 9 to 17. They were claiming that spirits of very much alive people, and also some dead, were visiting them and harming them in their sleep or naming other people that were witches. They would also have fits, convulsions, body contortions, fevers, etc. Pre-trial examinations of the accused were held at the home of Samuel Parris, Salem Village Meeting House, and in 2 different taverns. So I think one was actually Salem Tavern, and then one was Beetle Tavern. So these examinations would include a water test, where they would tie one finger to the opposite toe and slowly lower the person into a body of water.
So they playing Twister with the witches.
So it's
Polo Twister. Marco, Twisto. Sorry.
So if they floated, they were a witch. But if they fucking drowned, they were not. So
you die anyhow, right? It's over with.
Yeah.
I love that. That is such an amazing conscious ass thought for human beings to have, right?
It's insane.
I mean, I'm loving it as being very fucking sarcastic right now, right?
Yes.
How do you think? We're just going to kill these people.
This was because it was said that if you were
I'm not done. Listen, Listen, Lindsay.
I'm listening.
How in the fuck do you come up with some concept that you're just going to kill them anyhow? If they drowned, so are they going to bring them back to life? What the fuck's happening?
I'm not
here?
really sure what their what the 1692 math was back then. What their thought process was. you know, the algebra, the equations.
I mean, I've heard some crazy ass shit, but I've never heard no crazy ass. That's
I'm
some
not.
crazy
I just
shit.
got started on these tests.
Y'all hang on, keep going. Shit,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut up. Shut up. I know y'all want this. I'm sorry.
So the water test was because it was said that if you were a witch, you couldn't be baptized. So you would float if you were a witch
in holy water,
right?
Kill them in holy water. Okay, go ahead.
So, and then there was the witch cake test. It sounds delicious, doesn't it? So what I picture when I think of a witch cake is like a vanilla cake with some purple
like
and
some
black.
Kind of like tulle and flowery.
Or to me, it's a white cake or a yellow cake with like purple and black icing. That sounds delicious, but that's definitely not what this was. If it doesn't have chocolate in it,
it's not devilish.
Okay, so this test would consist, or this cake would consist of flour, rye, and then the urine of the bewitched. Hold on.
What?
Then they would feed this cake to a dog. And if the dog became afflicted, it would somehow point out the witch with their nose or by looking at them or with their paw.
What is it, girl? What is it? Witchy went down the well? What is it? Speak. Lie down. Afflict.
These poor dogs
Afflict.
had to eat human urine, man. They're just like trying to exist and be cool. Be man's best friend. Witch hunt. So then there's
more?
Yeah. Then there was the touch test. If the accused would touch the afflicted, they would become calm and stop having fits. And then the accused was indeed a witch. If the afflicted became calm and when the witch touched her, she would, or the afflicted would become calm. And
so
they're already bullshitting this whole thing.
Because I'm drunk most of the time. I'm drunk most of the time. So the accused are the witches.
Mm-hmm.
And the afflicted are what the witches
are the bewitched.
Afflicted on,
yes.
Right?
They're the ones, the afflicted are the ones that are saying whoever they're accusing is bewitching them by spirits or other thing.
They don't work the roots on them.
Right. So if a witch came up and touched the afflicted, they would suddenly become calm and their fits would stop. But yeah, this was used as evidence. This was used as a test.
So they lose their control.
Because they're already faking this shit to begin with. Of course they're going to calm down
Find me a witch that can teach me how to touch people and make them calm.
So the next test was to see if you had the devil's marks, which was like a mole or a birthmark, a questionable butthole.
What? What? Go. Just go. Just fucking go, dude.
And or a third nipple.
Well, I have one of those.
The third nipple would mean you were feeding a familiar with that.
It has a cat on it right now.
So a familiar is a supernatural being that serves as a companion, guardian, or a magical partner.
Typically,
that are a magical partner.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So.
Why are you fucking with me on part 2? You said there were going to be deaths, and they're just.
I'm getting there. We ain't even. Yeah, let me give me a minute. I'm telling you what all was used to test them. So then there was the Bible test, which if you could recite the Bible passages perfectly, example the Lord's Prayer, you were not a witch. So witches are believed to be lightweight. So if the accused weighed less than a stack of Bibles, they were not a witch. Also, Bible test was
how big is a stack of Bibles?
They could recite Bible passages perfectly. Mostly, they wanted them to recite the Lord's Prayer, and if they weighed less than a stack of Bibles, they were not a witch.
So what happened to their buttholes?
So I am gonna, if you want to know about the butthole thing. Go listen to one of my favorites, Last Podcast on the Left. They do a 4-parter on this subject, and they go into the whole butthole situation.
Is the butthole surfers playing while it's going on?
The taint.
So
yeah, they go into more depth on
a butthole baby. So I am a witchy. Right? I don't know.
Also, if you were accused, the government would immediately seize everything you had. So even if you were found not guilty, you would have nothing to return to. Your land, your estate, your house, your horses, your farm animals.
If they wanted your land, you're all of a sudden a witch.
Mm.
Tying in. Is that too early for me to say that?
I wonder if that went right to the Putnams, like or Samuel Paris.
That's how you said
or
it
any of the magistrates.
Last time you were so cute, you're like Putnams, and I was like, oh. I edit this stuff and listen to her voice like a million times, and I'm like, oh.
The accused were held in jails all over Salem, Boston, and Ipswich, where they resided in dungeons and basements because they were considered exceptionally dangerous. Very dark, very cold, damp, smelly, and rat-infested jail cells.
So on Fridays, I want to get touched by a witch so I can calm down. I feel like a Bergen on Thursdays.
I know.
That is my Bergen day. I'm all walking around like, I'm
feeling like a sunshine.
I did. Fridays, you're a little bit more energetic, right?
Yeah, because my Friday is actually Thursday.
But mine is an actual Friday. And sometimes I work on Saturdays. But I feel like a damn Bergen on Thursday.
I mean, on Fridays, I'm kind of like a kind of a feral person because I'm trying to get up, work out.
Yeah.
Clean the house.
She is gone.
Get all the laundry done.
But that's her element. Like,
and then
cook. You are happiest when you're going.
Yeah. Well, I've usually got a podcast or an audiobook in my ear, and it keeps me focused.
Yeah. And that's why you know so much about fuck. Because you know a lot about fuck. You do.
I do. Because I'd be cleaning and I'd be listening.
Like, she has got this.
Listen to us while you're cleaning your home.
Yeah, that's good.
And then light that deliciously scented candle afterwards.
Some work buddies of mine are like, oh, I'm going to Orlando for the weekend. I'm going to listen to your pod on the way. I'm like, hey, that's a good idea because I love driving and listening to podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
You don't give a damn.
You don't.
You just go for hours. It's like the Blue Chew of driving.
Remember when we went to one of your shows that you had in Savannah and we listened to Drunk History all the way up?
Yes.
Like, yes. I was watching it, but we had it through the Bluetooth. We were both,
because I love History Channel. I love me some History Channel.
Drunk History is the GOAT, man. Yeah.
I think it's been done for years, but still, I love it.
We like it.
Love it.
Yes.
Anyhow, let you ride. Let you ride.
All right. The witches were also weighted down and chained to the walls and starved. Women's breasts would be constantly examined, and the appearance of them was talked about in open court. Witch hunters assembled like a task force, and they went door to door asking people to accuse other people of witchcraft. If they didn't accuse someone else, then they were witches. Bridget Bishop, as we discussed last week, was the first to hang. She was in her 50s and was accused by Abigail Williams, Ann Putnam Jr., Mercy Lewis, Mary Walcott, and Elizabeth Hubbard, who all said she had physically tortured them and tried to make them sign a pact with the devil. Next, after Bridget Bishop, is Sarah Good. She was 39 and had given birth and lost her child in jail, and her other baby, Dorothy, who was 4, was also in jail.
Right.
She was executed on July 19th, 1692.
They better not do nothing to that baby.
Well, the baby did not get killed. I'll go ahead and spoil that and get that out of the way. She was let loose after her mother was executed. And but her father, who was a beggar, had to come up with a 50-pound bail on her head. And she was pretty much fucked up the rest of her life. And they had to pay a facility, like a mental health facility back then, to take care of her the rest of her life.
Such twisted things in our previous podcast.
Yeah.
Right? Like, trying to get all your rings and stuff where you can go in there and get a lawyer. I'm going to sell all this. That way I can keep my dignity, but it didn't work out. But at least he got to keep his land and shit, right? So that's good. We're forgetting his daughter out, right?
He didn't have anything. He was a beggar.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the whole reason why they were accused, because
they were poor.
They were poor and they were beggars,
like
and they were
said.
like, we're tired of being begged by these fucking poor people.
I didn't know if it was like he had given up everything just to get the
No,
money.
I don't know how, but he managed to get her out.
Okay.
But then she was messed up for the rest of her life.
Horribly pleasant story that the little baby.
Right.
She,
little Dorothy. Little Dorothy Good.
She kept on cracking. All right, go ahead.
So next is Elizabeth Howe. She was 57 and lived in Topsfield. She was the wife of farmer James Howe. She had been previously accused of witchcraft and had been refused membership of Ipswich Church. She was later accused by the afflicted and was also executed on July 19th. It's like you'll see as I go through this list, everybody was killed on certain days of the month until it all finally stopped. But so next is George Burroughs. We talked about him in part 1. He was the supposed devil himself, man in black, leader of the coven with superhuman strength. It was also said that he had a cloak of invisibility given to him by the devil.
Or Hogwarts.
And this was said by the Chief Justice.
Sure you didn't get that from Hogwarts?
Right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He went on the...
on the ride at Universal and stole it. He went to Universal in Orlando and stole the
What is
cloak.
it, the 3 3/4 platform?
Yeah. 9 3/4.
9 3/4.
Platform 9 3/4.
Yes.
Sorry,
So
British people.
remember, he was a Harvard-educated minister, but the Putnams and his stepson didn't like him. So, but he actually recited the Lord's Prayer perfectly before he was to be executed. And that was supposed to exonerate you. But
did he have a third nipple? He might have.
well,
had
the
a third
town
nipple.
was kind of waiting for this to happen, like the exoneration, and the town would get together and watch these hangings like a football game or a movie in the park. It was the event of the weekend.
So that was your Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight,
God,
right?
that shit right there.
That's what it was.
Yeah. But they already had the gallows ready. So sorry, George. Bye-bye. So next was Susanna Martin, who was 71. She was a poor widow who lived in Amesbury and had also been previously accused of witchcraft, but the charges were dropped. But the afflicted later accused her again in the spring of 1692, and she was also executed on July 19th.
So here's the whole story about the whole civilization in that area. Anybody pisses you off, you just say you're afflicted by a witch, right?
Pretty much.
And you put them in jail
Well,
to be...
these girls that were afflicted were just fucking brats that needed to go sit in a corner. Time out, man.
They got the old hand and foot water treatment, right? And if they lived, they're a witch. If they die, and I swear to God, that water's got to be holy water. They blessed it. I'm living on this hill. They were like, nomine patris, the holy water, the whole thing.
But yeah, pretty much all these people were either poor or had pissed off the Putnams.
The witches were drowned in holy water. I guarantee it. In the name of Jesus. Go ahead.
So next was Rebecca Nurse, who was 71. And we also talked about her in part 1. She was pretty much a saint and everyone loved her except the Putnams. And that's all that really mattered here. She had fought over boundaries, land boundaries, borders and stuff like that,
Yeah, been fighting with the Putnams.
So during her trials, she was actually found not guilty. But the afflicted girls started going insane when this verdict was read out loud.
Didn't want them to get that land or easement or whatever.
No, they were just bored, and this was their time to shine. They were,
getting attention.
They were getting attention.
They had nothing.
They
but
were making drama happen. Life was exciting.
Yeah, work God
they were
and
getting to do something
witches.
other than work hard all day and pray.
Yeah, I get it.
So the magistrates asked the jury to reconsider the verdict, and they were like, "Okay, just kidding, guilty." And she was executed.
All their rules.
Yeah. She was also executed on July 19th.
Oh, that was so justified.
Now, this execution really got the people of Salem doubting the whole witch nonsense.
So, okay, 200 years from now, people are going to look back at our judicial system and think the same kind of shit.
Yes.
Or you think? I mean, we use DNA and all kind of. I mean, we're going to
just think about, first of all, you've got 1% or 1.5% of the population that are in prison are not guilty.
Right. So that's a couple.
And then you've got people
in,
that are spending a whole lot of time in there for marijuana charges, which is now
you can get a card,
kind of legal. I mean, not 100%.
I can't sleep at night. Here's $250. You can have all the weed you want, sir. Well, see ya. Have a nice day. Ding, 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 ding. But they're holding them in prison now, still in America.
Yes, from old charges. So next is Sarah Wiles, who is 65. She lived in Topsfield, and she was actually the wife of a judge, John Wiles. Like I said, no one was safe from these afflicted bitches. She had had a bad reputation, a few run-ins with the law, but what was the law? Like, seriously, in 1649, she had been accused of fornication, and in 1663, she was accused of wearing a silk scarf.
Oh,
What
devious.
the fuck?
Devious. Oh.
When she married her husband, who had been a widower in 1663, John and Mary Gold Reddington, the relatives of his late wife, began spreading rumors that she was a witch. Sarah Wiles grew tired of these accusations and physically attacked her, Marigold, by pushing her off a horse. And after Marigold Reddington died later on, her friends continued to bully Sarah Wiles. And the Gould family was friends with the Putnams. So she was arrested in April, and John Wilde's daughter and son-in-law, Sarah and Edward Bishop, and his other daughter, Phoebe Wildes, were also arrested along with her. Sarah Wiles was executed on July 19th. So next we have Martha Carrier, who was 33. She was accused of starting the entire smallpox epidemic by Cotton Mathers. She lived in Andover and was married to Thomas Carrier and the niece of an opponent to the witch trials, Reverend Francis Dane, and the sister of accused witch Mary Toothaker. She had been accused by her neighbor, Benjamin Abbott, who she had a dispute about land with. So her children were also accused and then made to testify against her. She was executed on August 19th.
They're all the 19th?
Yes. Well, until we get to September, then it changes up.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So next is John Willard. Now we have another dude. Well, we have George Burroughs and now John Willard. He was 30 and the deputy constable in Salem at the time. He was one of the first to speak out against the trials and had quit his job in protest. His accuser was Ann Putnam Jr.
Oh, okay. I was going to say an employer got pissed off. He's not working.
So Ann Putnam Jr. said that he had beat her baby sister to death. She did have a baby sister that died, but that was probably just because it was the 1600s and people died all the time for unexplained circumstances. He was also accused by his wife's grandfather, who said he had fell ill after receiving a cross look from Willard. So Willard had fled Salem and was hunted down in Nashua, New Hampshire. And he was executed on August 19th.
Back to the 19th.
Yes. So next is George Jacob Sr., who was 72. He didn't like to go to church and spoke in opposition of the witch trials. He was accused by many, including his granddaughter, Margaret Jacobs, his servant, Sarah Churchill, and his son, George Jacob Jr., and all the members of the Putnam family.
So anybody that's free and wants to have their own way of thinking and their own way of life, and you piss off a Putnam,
witches,
you're going down.
You're going down.
You piss off a Putnam, you're going to hang.
So the Putnams had said he came to them in a spectral form and beat them with a cane. And he was executed on August 19th.
19th.
He was one of the few whom was retrieved from the gallows hill and had been given a proper burial. Because most of the time they just buried these people in unmarked shit.
Really?
Yeah. Or
That's
just,
what I figured unmarked.
Yeah.
They just threw them in a hole. Yeah.
So next is John Proctor, who was 61 and a wealthy farmer. He was an opponent to the witch trials, and he had threatened to whoop the afflicted brats' asses. I mean, he pretty much said they needed a timeout.
Stuck up snooty people that needed something to bitch about. Okay.
They needed some medical attention. I mean, there was something wrong with these. I mean, either hysteria or ergot poisoning or something was wrong with these girls or just
attention.
I mean, I don't want to think that all these girls just were like, I just want to make something happen in my little small town world. And this is it. Let's just get all these people dead. Let's just hang us.
They had nothing better to do.
I know. And it's sad.
What they had to do.
Oh God, it's so sad. His wife had been arrested as well. And since he was present in support of her, he was also accused. His entire family would go on to be arrested. And this is one of the families that is featured a lot in the movie that I want us to watch. So, but yeah, the whole family got arrested for witchcraft.
So we all know, I mean, everybody kind of has heard a little bit about Salem and the witches and stuff. And, you're like, oh, that's where they hung those witches. You don't know there's like 60 fucking people, right? I mean, I don't know how many people there are.
I'm so sorry. I did not get a full account of people that died. But like I said, there was over 200 accused.
200 accused. Mm-hmm. And they probably executed, I don't know. We'll have to check that out and hit you back on that for sure.
Yes. So he knew the town was in absolute hysteria and had written a letter to the Boston clergy asking that they please intervene. The clergy responded, but said it was too late to save him. And he was executed on August 19th. So the rest of his family was either never charged or were found not guilty and eventually pardoned. Next is Alice Parker, whose age is unknown. She was married to fisherman John Parker. She was a pious and honest woman, but had a reputation of being a clairvoyant, predicted a friend's husband's death. Saying that he died at sea. And this was, no among the Puritans. So she was accused by the afflicted Mary Warren, saying that she had bewitched her mother to death and had drowned many boys and men at sea. And she was executed on, now we've moved on to September 22nd. So next is Mary Parker, who was around 40 and a widow from Andover. She was accused by Sarah Phelps and Martha Sprigg of Andover for reasons unknown. There was another Mary Parker in the same area and said, hey, maybe they have the wrong Mary Parker. Excuse me, not Sarah. There's so many Marys and Sarahs. So, but Martha Sprigg and Sarah Phelps said, nah, it's you, girl.
So I was Googling while she was going and I wasn't paying attention. And I took a drink.
Okay.
19.
Yes. That's about right.
19 witches between 1692. Almost did it. My turn. Right? 1692 to May 1693. 19 people because you bumped into them at Aldi's and pissed them off. You were at the
Salem Aldi's. It was probably more like store. Loaves and Fishes.
Yeah, Loaves and Fishes. Yeah. You were at the market and you farted and you're going to die.
That excrement sounded like witchcraft. That flatulence.
I'm afflicted.
I am now afflicted by your flatulence.
What are you guys thinking about this stuff right now? I had to Google that. 19 people were hanged during Salem Witch trials, which happened from June 1692. I almost did it again to May 1693. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. By the way, if you're digging our stuff, check us out. Share us and give some feedback, right? If you're
drinkaboutSomething.site.
Yes, that is the website. And she knows now.
I do.
Yeah, everything's on there. You can check it out, share it, whatever. Hey, we're loving the feedback. We're loving everything.
Send us an email. It's on the site.
I sent us one.
You did?
I did. That's the only one we got so far. How humble.
Send us an email. Tell us what you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah. I'm loving the feedback, but I get it all like on socials because I'm bugging everybody to check our
Tell
stuff.
us what your favorite drink is. We'll make it and drink it.
Really?
While we
I don't know if I'm that afflicted yet. I'm feeling afflicted. Actually, the spirits in my cup have afflicted me because I bumped into them at a grocery store and they farted on me.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Lindsay.
So Mary Parker was executed on September 22nd. So next is Anne Putitor, who was a widow in her 70s.
God.
She had also been a nurse and a midwife, but had a reputation for being sharp-tongued. She was accused by Sarah Churchill and the other afflicted. Her foot ointments were said to be of the occult. During her trial, she outright said that the afflicted were lying brats. Little bitches.
Them bitches.
She was executed on September 22nd.
Oh, I was going to say 19th because you kind of did the whole Here we go.
It was July 19th, August 19th, and now we're in September 22nd.
So is that a gang of 20 seconds now? I'm scared. All right, go ahead.
So next is Wilmot Red, who lived in Marblehead, and her age is unknown. She was married to Samuel Red. She had also been accused of witchcraft before the hysteria and was not well liked by her because of her abrasive personality. Her daughter was the wife of accused George Burroughs, and she said the afflicted girls were in a sad condition.
Oh.
Yes, they were sad little girls. They were. To think up all this shit and to have all these people killed, there's something wrong with you.
And
so she was executed on.
You're still fucking going. That's the thing that gets me the whole time.
It was a short time, but it's
everything's piled up. You don't want to be wrong, but you're making people die because they farted on you.
Yes. She was executed on September 22nd.
Oh, witch farts.
Don't fart on the afflicted. Just don't do it.
That had to be
they will
what it
end
was.
you.
I really think that's what it was.
So next is Margaret Scott. She was 77 and a widow from Raleigh who had 7 children altogether, but only 3 surviving.
Lindsay.
Yes, sir.
You keep talking about old ass crotchety
They're all
people.
old. Yes.
You know, old people got them walking farts.
The bewitched farts.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm done.
So her husband had died in 1671, leaving her a beggar. And there is definitely a pattern of hatred for the poor here.
And old and farty.
Old and poor, you had no chance.
No.
She was accused by 2 of Raleigh's most prominent families, the Wycombes and the Nelsons. And a member of the Nelson family was on the jury that convicted her. She was executed on September 22nd. So next was Samuel Wardwell. He was a carpenter from Andover and 49 years old. He told fortunes and practiced folk magic. His wife and daughters were arrested as well. His fortune-telling and magic practices were said to be of the devil, and he confessed to making a pact with the devil, but later recanted. But that did not save him because he was still executed on September 22nd. So next is Martha Corey, who was 72. She had accused the afflicted of being liars and opposed to the whole hysteria. Her husband, either Giles or Giles, I like Giles better personally. Her husband, Giles, actually testified against her in court, saying that she may have bewitched his farm animals and him. But that didn't help him by testifying against her because Giles ended up being tortured for 3 days and pressed to death on September 19th.
Pressed. That's where they put. Now I've seen this on the history thing.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
They put rocks on your back, right?
Mm-hmm.
They lay you down.
I think it was on his chest.
Well, no, wait. I ain't done.
Okay.
I ain't done because we're going to talk about being broke. We're going to talk about the wheel. We're going to talk about everything in Europe. The pressed, right? They put a rock. I think it's rocks or a single rock on your spinal cord, in your spinal area, and then put a plate and then the weights on top of you, right? You're googing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's up. I think that's how they pressed, and it's like the weight of everything just completely caves in your skeletal system and everything in your back, and it breaks your spine and your rib cage and your lungs, and you just expire. I believe that's what pressed is. That's insane.
I got to go into a deep dive.
He shouldn't have done his old lady like that, really. You know.
So he was pressed to death because he would not say a or nay. He would not enter a plea. And if you did not enter a plea, your estate would not be seized from you. So he was
trying to protect his shit and get his old lady out the way.
So
I mean, right.
Pretty much didn't save him.
No.
But so he was 80 years old. If you lived to be 80 years old in the 1600s, you were like immortal. So I'm guessing that's why all these old people were being accused, because most people were dying.
Over 200 years ago, that had to have been over.
It's like 300 years, over 300 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm mathing wrong.
Because 1992 was the 300th anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
we're well beyond 300 years now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I'm just completely that 300 years ago at that age. And
So
you're trying to say, I would have just been like, dude, just give me a hovel.
Right.
Just like a small little.
Because, you know, they didn't have dental. I mean,
I
their
don't even want to
teeth
keep
were
up with
fucking
land
rotting,
anymore.
and they were dying from that. They were dying from all these unknown diseases that there was no
and the shit that was
vaccinations for.
the fungi that was in all the
there was
crops.
ergot
and
poisoning.
Ergot, yeah.
Smallpox everywhere.
Ergot.
Yeah, most people were dying from smallpox.
Ergot the
Fuck
rich
everything else.
rot.
So if you didn't die from that, I guess you were just a witch, you know. What supernatural power do you possess
Flatulation.
to overcome the smallpox?
I'm old and I'm going to fart on people.
So because he did not enter a plea, his estate was given to his heirs. He cursed the sheriff torturing him, and he died. That sheriff died of a heart attack 4 years later. And most of the law enforcement at the time died in a similar way. So he was pressed to death on September 19th, and his wife, Martha, was hanged on September 22nd.
So look up that press thing, because I think I'm right. I think that I'm right.
Yeah, it wouldn't give me
I seen you Googling
an
over
instant
there.
answer. I'll have to do a whole ass deep dive.
I think that is right. I think they put the rock on your spine and or several sometimes, and then they would put that plate on top of you and then put the weights on top.
Well, one of his last
Until they
words were
expire.
more weight, so he didn't give a fuck. Last is Mary Easty, who was 58. And she was the sister of Rebecca Nurse and Rebecca Cloyce, who had lived in Topsfield. She did not have a bad reputation and was well liked. But she was arrested in May, then released later on, but then accused and arrested again. And she was executed on September 22nd.
She went back to the grocery store, didn't she?
She did. She
was
went
like-
back to Fishes and Loaves or Loaves and Fishes. I can't remember. That's the grocery store in Handmaid's Tale. Gotta watch Handmaid's
Loaves
Tale.
and fishes. Okay.
Watch Handmaid's Tale for fucking awareness of what
Yeah.
could come to us in the future. Get your shit
Totalitarianism.
ready.
Who else,
Dystopia could be around the corner. You have no
in the last
you have no
100
idea.
years, Stalin did that in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We may not get it in America, but there's a country that's going through shit
Hitler
like that.
did that.
Just, yep.
It's happening. It's still happening right now.
I mean, we
in
had
Stalin.
rations in the U.S.
I'm
during
sure they're
that
doing
war.
it in North Korea.
During World War II, right? That's when we had rations.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's really still happening now. But yeah, Handmaid's Tale is like kind of waking up a little bit, especially for our country over here. That could happen
History
overnight.
always fucking repeats itself.
And we have a
Why?
change of
Why
power.
don't we learn?
Lindsay, we have a change of power. Let me put fear in you right now. There's
Right.
a big change of power fixing to happen again in our government.
My earphones fell
They're
out.
lining up everything. Conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
Politics.
All right. So
Go ahead.
on October 3rd, 1692, Minister Increase Mather, father of Cotton Mather, who had written a book on witchcraft that Damien Eccles was scorned for reading, even though Cotton Mather was...
He probably got that at his school.
He did. He got it from the school library.
That's educational.
Yeah, well, that's what it was. It was called the Book of Witchcraft, but it was literally Cotton Mather's talking about all the ways that they tortured people to admit being a fucking witch.
Okay, I remember me
Yeah.
going off about that, saying, he has a book on anti-witchcraft.
Mhm.
On anti-witchcraft.
And
He's
Damien
just trying to
explained
learn
that
about.
on the stand, but that didn't matter.
He's just trying to learn about
Yeah.
history, right?
And that's probably why Damien went on to live in Salem. He was like, I belong here for a while.
History is what you
He
keep
doesn't
in
live
your
there anymore,
mind.
but-
That way you can reflect on all the bad shit that's happened in the past and you don't go there again.
And it doesn't matter, honestly, like how much you know about the bullshit that happened in the past. And hopefully you can prevent it from happening again, because it just still does in a different form. And it's scary. Increase Mather, he begged the court to stop taking spectral evidence. Governor Phipps's wife, Mary Phipps, another Mary, was also accused. And then they said, all right, this shit has to stop. It took the governor's wife being accused. So the jailed were set free and the trials were put to a stop. And they terminated the court of Oyer and Termine. It was replaced by the Superior Court of Judicature. This court was forbidden from taking spectral evidence, which the spectral evidence that they were using was the afflicted telling them, hey, so-and-so over here that my father or my cousin doesn't like, they're visiting me in my dreams and torturing me. So that's pretty much what it was. Like that, all they were using was these girls' imaginations to tell them who was a witch, and they killed them for it.
Everything
they hanged them. They didn't hung them. They hanged them.
Everything that you're talking about right now is written, documented,
yes,
true ass history.
Yes, and you can look up all of these transcripts on. Where is it?
Well, Wikipedia, but yeah.
Well, no, there is a site that you can go to, salem.lib.virginia.edu, and that has everybody, right. All the transcripts,
and probably pictures of the written documents. Probably, I mean, it's all physical, it's there. real, not speculated shit. They were on a frenzy. They were just completely slaughtering everybody.
So the new judges were William Stoughton, Thomas Danforth, John Richards, Waitstill Winthrop, and Samuel Sewall.
And then Termine was terminated.
Yes. Oyer and Terminer was terminated.
Terminated.
Yeah. By May 16th, 1693, all of the remaining accused were pardoned. On October 17th, 1711, a bill was passed to clear the names of some of the executed, and restitution was paid to the surviving members of their families.
I bet them Putnams had a lot of land and a lot of shit now, right?
Oh, Putnams were sitting fat, bro. Fat. And nothing happened to the afflicted girls that I could find. Nothing happened to them because, I mean, they had to come to the conclusion that these little bitches were just lying. I mean, had to have. I mean, even one of them spoke out against it, one of the Marys.
Well, they finally was like, hang on, wait a minute. Wait a damn minute.
So in 1957, Governor Foster Furcolo, I think that's how you say it, Furcolo, signed a bill that officially apologized for the trials, but we were way too late.
The governor of Massachusetts?
Yes.
Okay.
In 1957.
Okay.
So in 1992, 300 years later, the Salem Witch Trial Memorial was built, and the city of Danvers built the Salem Village Witchcraft Victims Memorial. And on Halloween 2001, the 1957 bill was amended and all names were cleared. And now I just love how Salem
embraces the
tourism, the witchyism, the witchyism. I don't know if that's a fucking word, but they embrace all of that. So it like made a full circle, because if you want to go to one of the spookiest places in our country, go visit Salem.
I don't think so. I mean, I think that all that was a huge farce, but historically, everybody has died.
I said one of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's spooky still because all these innocent people were killed.
Yeah. I mean, just one point in
And they'd
history.
be haunting that bitch. They're like, I have all this unfinished business with these afflicted ass bitches. Where they at?
If they were 3 witches out of the whole thing, they some fucked up shit.
I don't think any of the ones that were actually killed were any kind of actual witch.
They didn't find a real witch.
I mean, the closest one you could find was the lady who was a midwife and with her little foot ointments. God bless her. I need a foot ointment.
Have been in shops.
I have terrible feet. I am a server and my feet suck.
We have walked into Marie Laveau's.
Yes.
We the voodoo side, right?
Yeah.
We have been to gem stores, and I know for a fact that I've been in. I mean,
we've been in St. Augustine. We've been to New Orleans, and we've been to Key West. You can
the history just in St. Augustine. That's the oldest city in the United States.
As soon as you enter it, and it's awesome. Yeah. I love that feeling.
Yeah, I love all the history and just the vibe of the historical events that have happened, but that's happened on every square inch.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like probably under our house right
globe.
Now.
I mean it's happening on something like that. I mean, it's just not documented.
very much populated by indigenous people a long time ago, right where we live.
Well, they had villages of 30 to 60,000 people. Just in our town was called Alligator at one time.
Yep.
A little history on Lake City, Florida. And it was
this
called
is where
Alligator.
the Battle of Olustee occurred.
Yeah, which 5,000 people died there, right? So,
and that was way before all the indigenous.
Yeah.
Or way after, excuse me. Way
and
after all the indigenous.
Up until the 1900s, they had the Gainesville, Florida Gators were colleged here, and they left because of some water issue, I think it was, with having city water or something pumped to the college. There was like a discrepancy, so they moved to Gainesville, Florida. So we're actually the original home of the Gators in Lake City.
Yep.
But historically,
Gatorade,
our town was called Alligator.
And love bugs.
Because of Chief Alligator, which was probably a Muskogee, but I think they probably called him Seminole. I'm not sure. There's some history there.
I thought Seminole was all South Florida.
Seminole didn't really happen until the 1800s. That wasn't even a tribe until they ran away.
And, we've been to that museum way too many times not to know that for sure.
Yeah. We didn't recall. I don't know. But Chief Alligator in our town had a civilization here, I'm sure, probably, stretched out throughout the whole community. There was probably 20,000 people that lived in.
Oh, he was the leader of the Seminole tribe.
The Chief Alligator in our town?
He was Billy Bowlegs.
Oh, that's Billy Bowlegs. That's on way down South Florida. Yeah. Yeah, I can.
But that's who Alligator Chief was.
Yeah, but they called him Alligator
But
Chief.
he was Muskogee, actually. Or wait.
Yeah, Chief Alligator was Muskogee Creek Native American in our area.
So, Holata Miko, a Muskogee name translated as Alligator Chief.
Miko does mean chief in Muskogee, by the way. All right, good.
So, translated in English as Chief Billy Bowlegs or Billy Bolick. He was the leader of Seminoles in Florida during the Second Seminole War.
Oh.
And there was Seminoles' most prominent chief during the Third Seminole War.
So I'm wondering if that's the same Alligator Lake City chief. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll have to do a deep dive on that later.
Billy Bowlegs was a little bit further south, I think. Everglades almost.
Okay,
area.
well, that's what I looked up for Chief Alligator.
But a little bit of American history here in the United States. Like every inch of ground that you walk on, and the Native Americans say that our grounds are the resting place for the bones of our ancestors. And that clearly is what it is. And the history just behind any old spots. And you go to European areas and it's older, it's
actually, okay. So, it was the site, our city, it was the site of a Seminole village ruled by chief called Halpatter Tuscanoogie. Okay.
Oh, the brewery here in town.
And our road, Tuscanoogie.
Tuscanoogie is a Muskogee Creek name for warrior.
Mm-hmm. Alligator warrior.
That's exactly right.
I
know that off the dome just from being around Native Americans. So.
And they left under the terms of an 1824 treaty.
We still have a road called Tuscanoogie Road, Warrior Road.
And we have a brewery called Halpatter that we like to visit for Sunday brunch every now and then.
That's cool. Tie
for bottomless mimosas and charcuterie.
Tell us about some history in your town. How's that? Right? Hit us up on the website. Drink about something outside.
Absolutely.
Pluggity plug.
Speaking of plugs, what band are you plugging today? Oh, and that concludes our coverage on the Salem Witch trials. Okay, now, what band are you plugging today?
I want to talk about a little mishap that happened in Gainesville, Florida.
Oh, are we going full circle here?
We're going round and round. I'm playing some punk rock music this month, and we are in Gainesville. Mm-hmm. Awesome place. Mm-hmm. It's called Satchel's.
Oh God, it's the best pizza
and the coolest
such a cool vibe.
The vibe,
the whole place is made out of trash.
If you're in Florida,
but you have to look at it.
Go to Gainesville. Go to Satchel's, and I want to plug a little something real quick. We're working with a couple of people. One of them is a food critic that travels around, and his name is Wolfman. And Wolfman has a Roku app that you can download and see his channel. Check out Wolfman. Wolfman needs to come to Satchel's. We're eating at Satchel's, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Had some great pizza,
great
salad.
Time. And they got
great salad.
They got this old Volkswagen
bus.
that you love.
Everything in their whole entire restaurant is made from recycled materials, and it is awesome.
Very awesome. Very, very, very cool.
They have a whole wall of old cell phones.
So our van broke down, by the way.
Oh, God.
And I couldn't get it fixed.
Oh, what a night.
Last time it broke down, I was able to get it fixed. This time I couldn't get it fixed. It was a body control module with the key switches and the ignition switch that you plug the key into. Anyhow, long story short, Silas is with us, and he's running around looking for something to do while we're waiting on a tow truck. By the way, at the end, Satchel gave us some love and some cookies. I love that.
They have the best cookies.
So
Cy
found his own way of not bugging us, which is there's a lot to do there. He's hustling the cool little pub type thing that they got in the back area.
Yeah, they got like 3 sections where you can eat. They have an indoor dining, then they have like a area with a bar and live music, and then like a garden area that you can sit and eat.
So we're chilling by the van. We're just waiting.
Stressing,
trying to get the van working.
We were trying to go to a corn maze that night.
Yeah, it would have been a cool little fall. But we got there a week later. But so we're waiting on the tow truck, and I'm like, wait, let me check on my boy. And I ran back, and Silas is rocking the piano at this little place, and people are like, is that you just playing Fairlease on the piano? And Silas is like, yeah, I know that, blah blah blah. And he's running it. Like, he is the entertainment that evening at Satchel's.
So if we take him anywhere, our 10-year-old, he's super talented. He has a big imagination.
He's an entertainer.
He's an entertainer.
We have raised our son to be the center of entertainment.
Oh, God.
And you can imagine,
and it's hard to break him away from it.
In a household, having a kid that wants all that, he wants all that attention. It's tough, but at the same time, we love it.
Yeah, like it. And sometimes you're just like, okay, shut it off for a minute, chill out. But he's learned to play the guitar. He's taught himself how to play the piano a little bit, the ukulele, and he just likes to
blows my mind.
Yeah, he's a super horror movie enthusiast. Loves him some fucking Leatherface.
He's the weird kid that walks around in your neighborhood dressed up for Halloween in
all
July.
Year long.
Yeah. And he's walking around going,
but luckily, most of our neighbors embrace it and laugh at it.
Yeah, they're like, cool. Isn't your son the one that walking around in my neighborhood like the other day?
I work in a restaurant, and a few of my regulars actually live in our neighborhood, and they're like, is that your kid that walks around in the Leatherface costume? I'm like, yep, that's my boy. And they're like, oh, we love that.
So he's hustling. He is hustling the bar. Like, randos are sitting over there in the corner. They're coming up. They're congratulating me about being this amazing ass parent. My son's amazing. He blew their mind. And the bartender leans over, which happened to be the bass player for this really cool ass punk band. And he's like, dude, your son's just been in here like rocking out and just.
And he was the bartender on duty that night?
Yeah.
At Satchel's. Okay.
Yeah, I believe he's the bass player because I looked it up, and I didn't contact them much other than letting them know I'm plugging their stuff, and they're like, hell yeah, man, that's awesome. You know, plugging their band against all authority. And I think they're actually based out of Miami.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a long way away from here.
And
I mean, yeah, we're all in Florida, but that's still an 8-hour drive.
Well, from Gainesville, it's 7, but
still.
Yeah. I don't know how
that's
all
how,
that
okay,
works
so
out. But like
in
nowadays,
that same time period, you can get to fucking Gatlinburg, Tennessee from here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But you can rehearse
if
now
that puts anything
on
into perspective.
This cool, like we record on BandLab, but a lot of bands actually do a lot of cool things on BandLab. So you can rehearse on that if you set it up right. I watched Lamb of God just do a thing not too long ago on BandLab.
Love you, Randy.
So everybody records their own thing to a click track. They line it all up. They jam out. They're rehearsing states away. Love
I cannot scream. I want to scream like Randy so bad. But it won't come out.
I don't know. I'm in a metal band. I can't scream either. Not really. Not to speak of. I can teach people how.
Yeah, but we can't get to Landy. We can't get to Randy level.
The Randy level of. But anyhow, Silas hustled. Dude handed me a band name. He's like, this is my band I play in, and we're doing some cool stuff here and there. They've been around for a good hot minute, over 10 years. Against All Authority, and the song that I want to play is called Radio Waves. And
Okay.
it goes right along with that piss test stuff. They're really
Everything
cool.
hurts. I hope you guys enjoyed Piss Test because I really did.
I love it. I'm loving the punk stuff, and I got some cool shit coming. I just hooked up with a label, actually, that supports, sponsors, and promotes different bands. So it's like you're not signed, but you're under these guys. And I'll talk more about them here in a few weeks.
Yeah, I find the cases and research them, and Jesse does everything else.
I know so many cool people, and they keep plugging. Actually, I just hooked up with the ex-singer for a band called Motograder.
Okay.
And he gave us permission for a band that he's in. So I'm friends with a lot of cool people, talk to a lot of cool people, opened up for a lot of cool bands. And I'm not trying to boast, but it's really cool to share their art and their music too.
Yeah, because just because their tickets don't cost $450 does not mean that they don't have talent.
Art and their music and
your local talent. Find it, love it, embrace it. Go to their shows.
I'm still on the hunt for some cool country. I'm just hooked up with a pop punk group out of Jacksonville, and probably going to be sharing them maybe next week. We'll check that out.
I love pop goes punk.
Like pop punk. I don't know about it. All kind
of that Rockville lineup though. Oof.
Oh,
we're gonna start a countdown to Welcome to Rockville 2025 soon.
You know what we should do? We should mention some of the smaller groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we don't know about. I don't know if I can get permission from them guys yet.
Look up your Rockville lineup. We'll post it next week because it is fire. Come join us.
Come to Florida.
Hang out at our campsite.
Orange Lot. We're partying all weekend long. 4 days.
Well, it's 4-day weekend. Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, we stretch it till Monday.
I love it. I love it.
It'll be our 10-year anniversary.
10 years for Rockville,
of going to Rockville. Gen Z. Yes.
Yeah. Orange Lot, best friend Amanda, all the fam, all the cogs of war,
And it can't be a kid-free one this time.
Oh, you're set on taking the sigh.
It's Green Day. When is he ever going to be able to see Green Day again?
Yeah. Good Charlotte and all the punk groups.
Our 10-year-old Silas that we've been talking about. He is obsessed with Green Day and has learned to play quite a few of their songs.
He's up to like 6 or 7 that he can play all the way through. Yeah. Love it. But
and loves Billy Joe Armstrong.
Against All Authority, I'm just, no holds barred here. I'm enjoying their style, their sound, everything. Thank you guys so much. Against All Authority. Awesome meeting you. I believe it's the bass player. It looks just like him. He had a big old burly beard, big burly dude like me. And
we'll be seeing you again at Satchel soon because that's one of our favorite places
we're coming back.
Go.
And our van won't break down this time because we got it fixed.
We did get it fixed.
Yeah. That was
lots of money later.
And hardships really teach you a lot of things, and history teach you a lot of things. So I'm really enjoying this podcast. And Lindsay, you have done a great job.
So thank you. Taking a virtual bow.
Salem Witch Part 2 is over, but we're going to revisit that. We're going to go up north. We're going to check out all that. We're going to have a whole hoopla road trip with some Toodaloo loaded up.
No, we're not. So next week, I'm going to be talking about one of the worst women on the planet, Gertrude Baniszewski. That's what I think her last name, how I think it's pronounced
Gertie.
Anyway.
Oh, Gertie.
Yes. This is the evil ass bitch. And that's one of the stories that has stuck out in my mind for very many years now. And I want to talk about it. And I want to tell Jesse about it and hear his reaction.
I know nothing.
He knows
and
nothing.
I drink things. All right, so we're gonna kick it off. Against All Authority. This song is called Radio Waves. You guys check it out.
Don't touch the dial, there's static on the radio. We're on a frequency way below, and one day the signal's gonna get through to you. We send it out in 92 years, long overdue. Hey, transmitting out of fake corrupt. Crank it up, we're giving it all we've got. We're blowing speakers and we won't stop. Yeah, we're still holding it down. Down, yeah, we're still holding it down. Down, yeah, we're still holding it down. Down, we hold it down with the kids while the airwaves cover it up. But the static keeps us in touch. One day this noise is gonna break right through with the rhythm of the day that we're sending to you. And I feel it, and we'll shout it out. Hey, transmitting no shadows of doubt.
goodness, Lindsay. Oh,
They were
my goodness.
awesome.
Ska.
They had a Mighty Mighty Boss Tones vibe.
Yeah, ska music for sure. Love it. Love the ska. Love the punk. Love that whole vibe. It's just so fun. I want to go to the beach now.
I know. That's our if you ever want to know what we listen to when we go to the beach, it's ska music.
Yeah, reggae and ska.
Reggae and ska.
That is what we listen to.
That is what we listen to on the way to the beach, while we're at the beach, and on the way home.
Yeah. And if we go like on a cruise, it's reggaeton. That's what we listen to. I love dancing to reggaeton. I love working out to reggaeton. You know, doing this and working out would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I should go to the gym and listen to our podcast.
Yes. It'll get you through that stair climber. Oof. That's the worst machine at the gym. But gives you a great butt and legs.
I already have a great butt and legs, Lindsay.
You got great
I
legs.
got great legs, but my butt is flat. Thank you guys so much for listening to our stuff.
Yes.
I just want to go ahead and mention that we appreciate you guys so much. And a little tear rolls down my cheek as
Tear.
I've had a few drinks now.
Yes.
Well, sips.
So now we have been working on, we got a pie pumpkin from our farm box and are fixing to attempt for the very first time we're in our 40s to make pumpkin pies from an actual pumpkin.
We're prepping for Thanksgiving.
Yes, we're Thanksgiving
holiday
prepping.
what we do in the United States. And love it. Love it. It's like you get to eat a lot. So
Yeah. That's how we really celebrate is the eating part because the rest of it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, together and eating, you know. But thank you, Native Americans, for keeping
Yes.
The people that stole your land alive.
We need to go get some marsh.
Marsh. Without any of the fungi.
Without the ergot poison.
Without the ergot poison.
That wasn't in their corn. It was in their rye and their wheat supply.
Well, I thought it was in anything. It couldn't, if it's getting in there. It's
Well, it was basically a fungus that grew in long period of storage.
Yeah.
So I don't think corn would keep that long. Corn meat.
Oh, yeah. If you keep it dry.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But we really appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys next Friday.
Follow us, like us, review us, listen to us. We love you.
Share us.
We are so appreciative.
We want to be whored around and fart on people while you're at the grocery store so you can be called a witch.
And one more time next week, we're going to be covering, I'm just calling her the old bitch Gert.
Oh, Gertie.
Oh,
We're
Gert.
going to cover some Gert. Some dirt on the Gert.
Banaszewski.
I think I'm going to actually label that dirt
Gertrude
on Gert.
Banaszewski.
I'm going to come up with some cool different titles.
She's
Dirt
a
on
cunt.
Gert.
She's a horrible ass person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear about it. I've known nothing and I drink things.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. We'll see you guys next
Friday. He drinks
Friday.
and he doesn't know
I
things.
don't know nothing. As the Southerner dude
That's from
would
Game
say.
of Thrones.
I don't. Yeah.
Game of Thrones reference.
I shared that on our Instagram. You know, I had little dinkles on one side, and then a picture of me like, it was like, and he says, I drink and I know things. And I was like, Jesse drinks and he knows nothing or doesn't know anything.
Tyrion
Lannister from Game of Thrones. But
he's so cute. I want to
love
put him
you
on
guys.
my hip, turn him
We'll
around,
see you
and a
guys
baby
next.
Bjorn.
Yeah. Yes. Love it. But I'm all excited about Outlander. I was fixing to say Homelander. I like that too.
Yes.
But Outlander.
Well, we don't really like Homelander. He's just fucking crazy. That's from The Boys.
Yeah.
Yes. We got to catch up with that.
We are geeks on that. We'll see you guys next Friday though.
Bye.